Hello, and welcome back to my level 3 Ironman progress series. Today we are in Giant's Foundry working up towards 90 smithing. We're at 86 right now with all of the materials that we need banked. We're gonna start with Addy and Rune, and once I run out of Rune bars, then we're gonna switch to doing Addy Myth Swords until 90, and I should have a bunch of bars left over, which I might use for dart tips for fletching supplies. So, if you've never done Giant's Foundry before, we're going to do a sword together so that we can see how it's done. So, first thing that we're going to do is talk to this guy who will give us a commission. We ask for a narrow flat sword, and then we look in the molds and select the sword that has the best bonuses in narrow and in flat. Now, if you have the Easy Giant's Foundry helper plugin from the hub, it will just highlight in green which you should use. And over here we can see we have a bonus of 58 points. The highest you can get that is 69. Nice. And that would give you a total sword quality of 199 with rune and addy bars. And that's just pretty much RNG. Each different sword type that he asked for has a different possible potential max, going from 49 all the way up to 69, and it's just RNG which one you're going to get at any given time. And it also affects how much XP you get and how much points you get and how much cash you get, so it's nice when you get those high value ones. So to do Giant's Foundry, we got 3 machines here. We got the trip hammer, we got the grindstone, and we got the polishing wheel. And what you're going to do here is, up here we have a temperature bar that shows where the temperature is. We can cool it down here in the waterfall and heat it up in the lava pool. And you have work areas. So your goal is to move the temperature to the work area you're at, and that's down here. This is the current stage you're at. Move the temperature to the current work area, and then go to that tool and use it until you complete that step and move on to the next step. Now with the Easy Giant, I went a little bit too far there. That happens to me a lot, especially doing Rune and Addy. These work areas are very small with Rune and Addy. As you work towards lower swords, Addy Myth, or going all the way down to Bronze Iron, those work areas get bigger and bigger. So up here is the quality, and I just lost a little bit because I made a mistake there. So you saw that machine turned blue, and that means if you click on it when it turns blue, you'll get a perfect hit, which will give you a big jump in your progress, which is usually a good thing. You should always try to do that. However, after I got that perfect hit, it finished the stage I was at, and I was done with green, and I needed to do the yellow tool, but I didn't notice fast enough that the perfect hit took me out of the tool that I was on, and I didn't walk away. So I used this polishing wheel one time more than I should have, so I lost about 5 points there, and that will affect how much XP and how much GP and how much points I get from this sword. But that's okay, it's not a big deal there. Just don't do it too many times. I usually don't make any mistakes, sometimes once per sword. I don't think I've ever messed up more than once in a long time. You also see over here, this is what I'm actually mainly looking at. Wow, I'm really overheating this here. Now, overheating and overcooling doesn't affect your points. Only using the wrong tool or using the tool when you're not in the correct heat zone changes your points or gives you a penalty. So you don't have to worry too much if you accidentally overheat or overcool. You just waste some time, that's all. We also see over here this Easy Giant's Foundry plugin helper has like a little menu here, which is actually mainly what I'm looking at. So this is telling me how much heat I have left, because every time you see every time I use this trip hammer, it takes a big chunk of heat down. So it tells me I can use the trip hammer 2 more times, and I need to use it 3 more times. So that means I need to reheat before I'm done on the trip hammer. And this is... oh, it makes it so much easier. Just see that. It's not perfect. If you do use this plugin, I will give you the warning. It's not perfect. Sometimes it'll say 2 and use it 1 time, and then it goes to 0. So you just got to you still have to pay attention. This isn't fully AFK like smithing on an anvil, but it makes it a lot easier than doing Giant's Foundry normally. So we're getting close on this sword. We're on the second to last stage, on this yellow stage, and then when we hand it in, we'll see what we get. Alright, let's see a little bit more here, and then, oh, see there, it just did it. See here, was it 2 actions left, and then it immediately jumped up, and it showed it complete. Alright, just gotta do the trip hammer a few more times. And I also like the action. Oh, there's a perfect hit. That should get us pretty close to finishing. The big sword in the hands looks real funny on this as you run. Look at them run with that big sword in his hands. Alright, handed in that sword, and there we go. 8 minutes 52. That is a real bad time. Rune should be closer to 5 minutes. You can see my PB is 4 minutes 20. Although that's kind of weird because it goes by quality first. So that's my best is 4 minutes 20 on a quality 199 sword. So I have faster, but not at that quality. So you'll never see that. And that's actually a really good time for a rune sword. So this will probably be my PB forever. And then we get some smithing XP and some GP straight to the bank. Unless you're a UIM, then it goes to the inventory. And we can see I've made 177 swords, and I also got a few points up here. So we are saving points right now. I want to do a big burst. I need these 4 things, plus this colossal blade, so 5 things. That's 7.5k points. I'm going to save up for, and then we'll do a big opening where we're going to get buy all that stuff at once and spam the clan with a bunch of notifications. But that's Giant's Foundry in a nutshell. So I'll leave it there and make a few more swords, and I'll come back when we have our next smithing level. Alright, I know I said I would be back with the next smithing level. We are still not there, but my herbs are ready, and I thought it might be fun to show you what a herb run looks like on a level 3 Ironman. Because I do a lot of these. I have to do a herb run every 80 minutes because they are realistically the only way that I'm going to be able to ever max my herblore level. You know that I was talking about in the last video, that 4.5 mil herblore XP banked. Where do you think that comes from? It's coming from herb runs. So we start in the farming guild by teleporting there with the farming cape. Then we take the fishing cape and we go to the fishing guild. Because what's next to the fishing guild? Well, if we come out these doors and we run just a little bit east, we'll say, look at that. There's a nice little farming patch right there. Arty cape? What do you mean Arty cape? That requires you to fight things. No, no, no. There's no Arty capes on this account. Well, we have an Arty cape 1 actually, but that doesn't give you any farming patch teleports. I also always do the double harvesting glitch. If you just spam click until your character kind of turns sideways, you'll harvest twice per farming cycle. And you know, when you're doing these every 80 minutes, all day, every day, that's nice to save a little bit of time. Next we use our construction cape. Honestly, one of my proudest achievements on this. And we go to Brimhaven. Now there is probably a faster way to do this to get to a charter ship. Well, I know there is. You can use the minigame teleport to fishing trawler, and that will get you faster to a charter ship in tiles. But is it actually faster in time? I've timed it, and it is a little bit, but not by much. It's about 1 second, maybe 2, because the teleport animation is so slow for the minigame teleport. So I use the Brimhaven house portal, and I just run the extra few tiles. And we're going to come up here. I also, you can see that I like to clean the herbs as I'm running between patches. I also find that's a nice little time save. And you'll just see that I'm just have a bunch of ultra compost. Why would I not have a bottomless bucket? Well, because I can't kill a Hespori. Because that requires getting combat XP. Next patch, 3 out of 5 done. That's another thing, 5 patches. We drink from the pool in the house, and we have our glory. Left click default set to Draenor Village. A Mounted Glory. How did I get a Mounted Glory? There, I don't have magic. How did I enchant that? Well, I mean, if you've played an Ironman, you know the answer to that is Dragon Implings, of course. I bought Dragon Impling Calls because I was impatient, and I spent 50 mil GP off my main because I couldn't afford it on this account, but I have a main, and I spent 50 mil GP buying Dragon Impling Calls. I went about 2.5 times drop rate for the world's most expensive Amulet of Glory. So count yourselves lucky that you guys aren't out there paying 50 mil for your glory on your accounts. And last one, Xerix Tally to Xerix Glade. Now that's an interesting one as well. The Xerix Tally, where did I get that? Don't you have to kill lizardmen for a Xerix Tally? That one is an interesting one as well. You may know this if you played Leagues 1, but over here in the Kebos Lowlands, there's a dungeon right here, and right up here there's something called a stone chest that you can open with thieving, and it has a chance to give a Xerix Talisman, as well as Lizardman Fangs, and that's where I got mine from, and where I have to go regularly to recharge it. So that's our herb run done. I've gotten these down pretty quickly to about 4 minutes, which I'm pretty proud of because they used to be a lot longer. Before I had all these capes, I'll tell you, I was running about 10-minute herb runs using home teleports, using canoes, using arty cloaks. It was a bit slower. And then I go straight into a birdhouse run. These also, you'll see my Hunter XP over here. I forgot a hammer. Back to the bank. I forgot a hammer. I normally just always wield the Uncamdo hammer, so I don't have to think about it. However, oh, no. I have to unequip the hammer for Giant's Foundry, so I forgot it right there. What I was saying, you'll see over here my Hunter XP. That's 100% birdhouses, and the Dragon Implings that I said before for the glory. That's it. I've never trained Hunter, grinded Hunter in any way other than birdhouses, and I intend to max Hunter with 99 from birdhouses only. Now this is another slower one because again, no dig site pendants. I have them unlocked from, cleaning finds in the museum, but I can't enchant them without magic level. And there's no imps that will give you dig site amulets. So I use the Ring of the Elements from Guardians of the Rift, teleport to the Earth Altar, and then run over to the boat from there. Before Guardians of the Rift came out, I would use a crafting cape to run to the balloon, and from there take the balloon up to Dover by the sawmill, and then run to the island. And when I started this account, before I had a crafting cape, I would use a Chronicle teleport, which would take you... Chronicle teleport, where's Varrock? Chronicle teleport takes you... Where is it? Here, the Champions Guild. And then you run all the way this way and through the gate. And then you run all the way this way. And then you run all the way this way. And that's how you get to Fossil Island on a very early game, level 3 Ironman. Every hour or every 80 minutes, doing that consistently. So this is definitely nice. Getting my runs down, including birdhouses, plus herbs, down to about 6 minutes. It was a bit longer that time because I forgot my hammer, but that's pretty good because they used to be like 20 plus minutes. And I just thought you might want to see my pain because I have to do, by my math, about 3,000 herb runs to get the herbs I need for 99 herb lore on this account. So there we go. There's a herb run, and now I will see you back when we get a smithing level. All right, and just a little bit later, after a bit of grinding, we are back. This should be the last sword for another smithing level, and is also the last of my rune, very sadly. This is going to be my last rune sword on this grind. The rest of my trip to 90 will be done exclusively with Myth Addy swords. So let's hand it in. And there we go, 5 minutes with a 179 sword. And let's see. There it is, 87 smithing. 3 more levels to go on my grind towards 90. And about 500 more points until I can cash out all of the Giants Foundry store, which I think is the next update you're going to see from me. Alright, looks like we're almost done this sword, and if we look over here at our total points, this one should bring us up to enough to buy out everything we need from the Giants Foundry shop to finish the collection log. So let's hand this sword in. 4 minute 0 second. That's a pretty good time on that one. Didn't mean to get a commission. That's okay. I'll do that later. And let's start going through. We're going to get the double ammo mold. We're going to take the Kovacs grog. We're going to take the smithing catalyst. We're going to take an ore pack. We're going to take a colossal blade. And here we see all of these stuff in our collection log get added, and as soon as I close this menu, we'll get to spam the CC with this stuff. In 3, 2, 1, I hope they're ready. There we go. Nice, 5 more log slots on the account, which is a lot for me. That's that just increased my log by 5% almost. Don't have a lot of collection logs on this account. Colossal blade, completely useless. Can't wear that. That's requires an attack level of 60 to wear. So that will sit in the bank forever. Double ammo mold also will sit in the bank forever. I don't make a lot of cannonballs. So that's it. Giants Foundry is done. And it looks like that reputation counter is not updating. There we go. Get the update going. And that's it. So all the rest of what I get from here, I guess we'll go to ore packs. Just to feed me a little bit more ore for smithing stuff, or might get a little bit of smithing catalyst, but probably not a lot. I don't really need XP from standard furnaces. I'm going to get it all at Foundry. But I think with that, I'm going to call this episode there. We got 1 smithing level here, and we completed the Giants Foundry log, and I showed you how to do my farm runs, which looks like it's almost time for another one. So I'll leave this episode here, and next time we'll come back and keep working at the Foundry towards that 90 smithing. So until then, bye-bye.